If you fly with children, you've probably run into the same problem that I did. Adult aviation headsets just don't always fit particularly well. Now, I recently bought the My Little Eagle Youth Aviation headset for my daughter, and after flying with it for a while, I wanted to share my thoughts. At just under £170 delivered to the UK, is it worth it? Hi, I'm Dale and this is Left Seat Culture, a channel about flying gear and the culture of aviation. Most of what I cover is general aviation, but hopefully it's of interest to all pilots, whatever it is that you fly. So before I bought this new headset, whenever I'd fly with my daughter or sometimes my son, they would use typically the Bose X headset I've got. So it's an adult headset, and the biggest issue there has never been audio quality, it's simply been the fit. The headset would generally slide down, the ear cups wouldn't always seal properly, and then the microphone could end up moving quite a long way from the mouth. So I started looking for something specifically designed for young passengers, and that's where I came across this headset. So this is it, the My Little Eagle Youth Aviation headset from Hobbs Flyer. Pretty in pink for my daughter, pink or purple are her favourite colours. And by the time I paid shipping and taxes from US to UK, the total cost came to £169.39. Now in the box you get the headset itself, documentation, a surprising little backpack style carrying bag and a little cable. And it's a small thing, but if you're regularly taking children flying, it's actually quite useful to keep everything together in a backpack like that. So the first thing you notice about a headset like this is that everything is scaled down for a younger head. The adjustment range is smaller than most adult headsets and the overall weight is lower too. One of the things I really like about this microphone actually is the ratcheting microphone. So that's a feature that I think is really helpful because rather than kind of swinging around freely, it clicks into a position and then it stays where you put it, which with young children is even more important, so you can make sure you can hear them all the time because the microphone obviously isn't constantly moving away from their mouth. And that's actually a genuine advantage over some of the kind of budget adult headsets that you might consider instead for a similar price point. Now, this is probably where viewers will most be interested in this headset. Obviously, this isn't an active noise cancelling headset competing with something like Bose A20 or Bose A30s. It's a purely passive headset, but the question is whether it provides enough noise attenuation for a young passenger. And in practice, I've been really pleasantly surprised. The ear seals fit well, and because the headset actually stays in the correct position, the noise reduction is more than effective than you'd kind of expect, and definitely much better than an adult headset that's constantly slipping around. So I think this is a really good kind of headset from a real world usage perspective. So in terms of audio quality, rather than me just telling you that I think it sounds good, here's some actual cockpit audio recorded through the headset.
So Emily, how's the headset?
Good.
Sounds good?
Yeah, I can swap it to my other iPad and it still works.
Okay. So but when I talk, it cuts out the iPad, doesn't it?
No?
Oh, but what do you mean?
Just, I can hear you, and the same, it just pauses it. Like, it doesn't pause it, I just can't hear it.
That's what I mean, so it mutes the iPad.
Yeah.
And then I can hear. Does it? It sounds very clear.
Yeah.
Very impressed. Good stuff.
Yeah.
So you'd recommend that headset to others, would you?
Yeah.
Much better than the bigger one?
Yeah, way better. This one fits better as well.
It fits better. Fantastic.
So it's for kids.
It is.
As you can hear, voice quality is really clear, easy to understand, and my daughter says that she can hear me really well, and that was one of the often complaints we'd have with the adult headsets. I couldn't hear her very well, she couldn't hear me very well. Messing around with the volume settings made no difference. And I think this is one of the kind of strongest reasons to buy a headset that's better for a child's head than trying to get away with using an adult one. One other nice feature about the headset, it has this little box where you can plug in a tablet. So it's another nice feature that having that auxiliary audio input. So again, connect an iPad, other kind of tablet, phone directly to the headset. And obviously means they can be entertained whilst flying, if not looking out the window. One thing that's worth knowing that is incoming radio or intercom traffic interrupts the auxiliary audio. So depending on how you look at it, it's both a good thing and a bad thing. It's good because obviously important communications aren't masked by music or videos that might be being watched or listened to on the phone or tablet. But if you're flying through particularly busy airspace, whatever your passenger is listening to will be constantly interrupted by that audio from the intercom or from air traffic control. I think it's exactly the sort of practical observation that is worth knowing with the headset. So for me, the biggest success is that I've stopped thinking about the headset. I'm worried if I'm going to be able to hear my daughter, she's going to hear me when we go flying. She puts it on, it stays in place, she can hear me, I can hear her, and we can just basically focus on flying the aircraft and enjoying the time in the air together. And to be honest, she seems much more comfortable wearing it than she did with the adult alternatives that we tried, both in terms of her enjoyment of the flight and kind of not complaining about kind of engine noise and other kind of things. So in terms of the pros and things I like about the headset, there's lots of them. Obviously it's a proper child-sized fit, it's a lightweight headset, good passive noise reduction. I really like that ratcheting microphone. Very clear audio quality. As I mentioned, it's a bit of a bonus, but having that auxiliary audio input, probably on longer flights, is really helpful for a child. That backpack, even though not needed, is really helpful to keep everything together. And I think the price is pretty good. So obviously, in terms of cons, I'll be honest, there aren't really many negatives from my experience so far. Obvious one is the price, but I would still think £170 for a child's headset is not kind of super cheap, but it's really good value in aviation. The obviously negative is obviously as children grow, they will eventually come to a point where they'll move to a standard adult headset. So I guess you have to decide how old your child is, how often you'll be flying with children, and if it is a valuable thing to buy or not. So in conclusion, would I buy one of these again? Would I recommend one of these to someone who is flying with children on a regular basis? 100% yes. Obviously, if you're only taking a child flying once or twice a year, then an adult headset may be perfectly adequate. You can kind of adjust it, finagle it a little bit to make it work. But if you're regularly flying with children, the improved fit alone makes a really noticeable difference. And for me and my daughter, it's made communication even easier. It's more comfortable, and overall, I think it's been money well spent. So if this video has been helpful, please consider liking it. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so. It really helps the channel get noticed. And yeah, thanks to you as always for watching. Again, hope the video has been helpful. Until the next one, take care of yourself and goodbye for now.